Todd, get out of your video game trance.
I'm out. I'm looking at news.
Are you though?
I am.
What's the news? Read me one headline right now.
It's official. E3 Digital is canceled for 2022.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah. And on that happy note, welcome to the Getting Off Topic podcast, everyone.
Uh,
Episode 48. Yep, it is. No, it's not Sunday night. It's Saturday night. I got plans tomorrow, which is why we're recording on a Sunday or Saturday. Man, brain not compute.
Sunday still comes after Saturday, right?
Just
Far
when
as I
you do
know.
so many things the same day for so long, it all kind of blends together. So,
Mhm.
How's everybody doing?
Doing well, doing good.
Yep.
How about you, Tony?
Doing good. Other than knowing that the impending doom is coming.
I was trying not to get into that, but
Yeah, Todd and I got the call that we have to go back to the office towards the end of the month, which is a real pain in the ass, but that's why we're here to talk about happy things.
yeah.
it's especially hard for me. I'll say one thing. It's especially hard for me because they timed it perfectly to fuck with me because I'm on vacation right now for 2 weeks. And my first day off of vacation is the first day fucking back in the office.
Oh man, what a return!
Super fun, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, enough of that.
Enough of that. Now we're not going to get depressed all over that shit right now.
So let's start with the basics of what we normally do. What you watching, what you playing, everybody.
Who wants to go? I'll go first. A lot of stuff lately, actually. Meg and I are still binging or doing a rewatch of all of Pushing Daisies, which is really fun and lighthearted. Still ending our nights with Gravity Falls, running through that for the first time, which we're getting towards the end, which makes me a little sad, but it's been a good ride. Enjoying that shit.
Good ending too, though.
Sweet. Yeah, it's definitely like it's at the point where like the overarching story is, you know, there's less random one-off episodes, and it's like it feels like everything matters now. You know,
Exactly.
getting to that stage of it. But yeah, good stuff. Definitely recommend that. We are slowly continuing our Scream-athon. Now that all those are available on Paramount, we watched Scream 4 the other night, which was fine. The Meg's is better than 3.
Okay.
I would say equivalent of. I don't know. It's hard to.
The story actually made sense in 4. It was so all over the place with being so meta.
Yeah, 3 felt very
It
forced.
got very hard to keep track of everything.
The killers in 4, the killer's motivation felt a bit dumb as bricks and repetitive and kind of nonsensical, but the whole third act, when everything goes to shit in the finale, actually really was really solid. So it kind of was like I was not feeling it, and then I was like, oh, okay, that works. But yeah, we'll see how 5 is, because I haven't heard anything about it, but the few reviews that I did hear just anecdotally from friends were like, oh, this is probably like the best sequel out of all of them, like the best since the first one. So I'm like, okay. But people say that about a lot of things, and then, you know, you get to it, like, okay, that was overhyped. But, I don't know, we'll see. I don't expect much from Scream 5,
Yeah.
other than to see the original characters and go, yay, that's them, and that's about it. So
It's a meta horror movie about horror movies. So I mean, come on.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll keep the bar low and then be pleasantly surprised, hopefully. Yeah, we did that. We've been watching Pushing Days, Gravity Falls. Did a throwback the other night, watched They Live, which I honestly, they got points off my nerd cred, I guess. I don't think I've ever fully watched They Live before. Like, I've seen it, like, it's one of those that you've seen on TV in chunks a million times, so you think you've watched the whole thing through, but I don't think I ever watched the whole thing through. But that was fun.
I'm not sure I have either, so that's one I think it's to put on my list.
It's worth one watch. It's a good just think of it as like a feature length Twilight Zone, essentially.
Cheesy one-liners, though.
It's John Carpenter, so like cheesy one-liners, good music, good editing.
Mhm.
This was one of them where the cheesy one-liner quotient was like through the roof, though. Like he got his main actor there was what's his name?
Roddy Piper.
Rowdy Piper. Yeah, I kept wanting to say Randy Savage, but no, that would have been fun too. No, yeah, Roddy Piper. So basically, Carpenter was like, our lead is a ridiculous pro wrestler, so we're gonna lean into that and make it ridiculous shit, including that like 6 or 7 minute long fight scene in the alley. Which, if you haven't seen They Live, you've at least seen that. You've seen like the South Park parody of that. Triple fight, yeah, and it is like. The South Park guys did it justice. It is that long, just ridiculously long, and with so many extended pauses, you think, okay, they're finally done, and then they go again. It's so bonkers. And I looked
just the premise of the fucking movie is a wrestler who has special fucking sunglasses. How 80s could you get?
Yeah, well, he doesn't play a wrestler in the movie. He's like just a drifter, like does construction work, and then it's shit ensues. But it's just so ridiculous. Meg was like, why? Like, why? And so I looked it up, and
because cool, that's why.
And cocaine.
Pretty much. Yeah, there's actually a horror doc out there called In Search of Darkness. I think they've done 2 now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really long horror documentaries. I think there's going to be a volume 3 pretty soon they're working on. But they interviewed John Carpenter about that and why he, leaned into that ridiculously long fight scene. And he was just like, we hired a wrestler. Like, we want to do his fans justice. Like, we're going to give him an extended fight scene. And that's that. That was the only reason for it. But yeah.
And Carpenter knows what's up.
Yeah. So ridiculous, but fun. Gaming. I've finally finished Metroid Dread on the Switch. That was rad as hell. Crazy hard boss fights like that. It felt kind of like I've never played any of the Dark Souls games because I don't want to throw a controller at the TV. Even though they look really pretty, I want to play them. But yeah, for a Metroid title, like it had all the usual bells and whistles, just really cool, creepy, exploratory, that isolation feeling and everything. That's the whole vibe of those games. Mm-hmm. Very simple and straightforward. But the boss fights were those kind of how people describe Dark Souls to me. It's like the fast twitch. You got to study those boss patterns when you die 12 times until you finally get it to perfection. And if one false move and like half of your life is gone. And so it was intense, but got through that. And now finally started Cyberpunk on my fancy new laptop. That's been fun. Only about an hour in or so, but I'm enjoying it.
That's after he spent like 3 hours designing his character.
Of course.
You got to get it right.
Right, yeah.
Which is funny because you don't actually see your character at all.
That's the thing.
But you know who you're playing. You know who you're playing.
Yeah. You tricked out your guy with a bunch of crazy cybernetic mods and ridiculous tattoos and green hair.
You know that your character has hashtag C83734 brown eyes.
Yes. And a big dick.
Of course, you have to use that dick slider.
I mean, all the way up.
There is actually there's not a slider. It's
it's a small or large.
Yeah, small or large, and literally like circumcised or uncircumcised. Wow. It's ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
And there's the same for the female side too. Large or small breasts and shaved or unshaved down there.
Wow. Yeah. And I usually don't. We've talked about this before. I'm usually default guy. Like I just want to get to the action. I don't spend hours on the character creation screen usually. But I did this time. I was like, wow, this is really cool. So many cool features and everything. And then plop. First person mode. And only first person. The only time you catch a glimpse of yourself is if you're looking in a mirror at your apartment.
And it shows up in cutscenes too. Your character does show up in cutscenes.
So far, not really. Not much. I don't know. it just seems like such a waste. Like, what a dumb idea to be locked into first person mode when this whole game is designed to be all like flashy and style and whatever. But other than that, enjoying it. We'll see how it goes. And I've also heard that like anybody who's played through it says the story gets like incredibly good. So yep.
That the one really positive about the game is the story is good.
Cool. Is good. All right. How about you, Andrew? What's going on? What you playing? What you watching? What you doing?
Playing, still making my way through Elden Ring, slowly but surely. I think it's been, having never played a From Software or, any of the Souls games, it's been pretty good. I was always worried that it'd be super duper frustrating and I couldn't handle it, but they, I think, did really well in this game. Dying is just kind of a minor inconvenience, at least so far. And as long as you're kind of smart about going back and getting your stuff or your runes and whatnot, it's, nothing you can't kind of make your way through, at least, and like, I think I'm pretty early on. I'm only like level 40. Funny enough, I'm chatting with Shannon's family who's playing it, and her uncle's like level 80 and needs, like 5 times the amount to level up that I do. So when I get to that level, we'll see, how inconvenient death really is. But so far, so good. It's really enjoyable. Killed a couple bosses, but, with like 10 tries or so. So I think I'm getting the hang of it. Watching, with my Paramount Plus is still active for a couple days. So I wanted to get through Lower Decks that you asked me to watch, and it's very enjoyable. I especially love in the first season the kind of nod to the Star Trek movies episode. I don't know if you remember that, where like my favorite scene is when they're just panning around the Cerritos, the ship, again and again and again, just like in the movies, and they spend so much time on the Enterprise. I thought that was a great throwback to those movies. And then also on Paramount Plus, me and Shannon are watching Ghosts. Have you guys heard about this one at all?
Ghosts. Oh, ghosts, plural. No.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a take on a British show. There's a UK version as well, but this one, basically, this woman inherits this house that her and her husband then move to, that's inhabited by these several ghosts. Rose McIver plays the lead from iZombie, so it's cool to see her doing something else. I'm gonna butcher his
last name is MacGyver.
McIver.
Oh.
Close. Close.
MacGyver.
But his name's, I think, like Uktar. I didn't get his last name, but he's in like Free Guy and a bunch of others. But he plays a husband, and it's really good. It's really enjoyable. I'm liking that a lot too.
Cool. Awesome.
That's about it. Yeah.
How about you, Todd?
Todd, what's going on?
Not watching much lately, just still on my Critical Role binge. I watch that religiously. I've watched, I was on a bit of an 80s movies binge lately. I've watched Ghostbusters. Oh, I watched the new Ghostbusters. That was actually pretty good. Tony, you haven't seen that, right, yet?
No, still need to.
That's
Okay,
a good one.
so
I really liked it too.
I watched Top Gun with the upcoming new Top Gun. I saw Jackass Forever. That's on Paramount Plus as well.
Oh, yeah,
That was amazingly hilarious. Not as good as the old ones, but I mean they're getting up in the age, so they can't do as many stunts as they used to.
It seems like less stunts and more dick and balls in this episode.
Yes, very much so.
Well, I imagine they just bring in a bunch of their buddies or friends or fans or whatever and have them do all of the bullshit.
That's pretty much what's happening in this last one, is they kind of pass the torch to a new group of like 4 or 5 people.
And Grandpa Knoxville just rolls up in a wheelchair to laugh. Like,
I mean, I think he legit got a concussion on this one.
And like broke a rib and his arm and stuff. Like it was a pretty rough hit he takes from this bowl. So, yeah.
Damn.
So that was pretty fun. As for playing, I've been addicted to this little game called Vampire Survivors. It's a small little indie game. It's only on PC. It's I think you can get it on Steam, and maybe a couple of the other game stores. But it's just this little like retro looking, looks like Castlevania almost, from the SNES era. And there's no controls. You just WASD. You just move around, and you pick your weapons, and you just slaughter mindless hordes for a half an hour until you die.
Nice.
I've seen clips of that one. It looks pretty pretty interesting because every game is kind of new with the different powers you can get. They're all kind of random
Yes.
into you, right?
So you level every time you level up, you have a selection of 3 random either weapons or uh, um, ability modifiers, and it's random every time. So you have to pick something out of the list. You can't just skip it. So every game you play is you get a different loadout of weapons and ability modifiers, and obviously you can pick the ones you want, and you can try to hold out for the ones that you want, but like it gets to a point where you have to pick some things, and so everything turns out different every run through. And then the monsters you fight are randomized, so like every minute it's a different monster type that starts coming at you in waves, and it's drawn from like a list of random monsters that can come at you. So
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool,
super
cool.
fun, and definitely a good time killer if you've got like nothing you want to play and you don't, or you only have a short amount of time. Like the maximum amount of a time that a game can last is a half hour, because at the end of the half hour the stage is over, and death, literally, like a guy holding a reaper scythe comes at you and kills you.
Okay.
Nice. Cool. Speaking of old school games, there was a little bit of news on the Nintendo Switch online service. That they are adding to their NES and SNES library. I guess
Couple more games.
yeah, they just added Super Punch Out and like a special version of Super Mario World where like everything's already unlocked for you, so you
The
can
Super
just,
Punch Out has already been on there, but it's a special version. So what they do is they also every once in a while they add like special scenarios for the games where you load the save, and it's a special scenario with certain power ups or whatever, and you just have to do this scenario that they have set up for you.
Okay.
Also Earthworm Jim 2.
I didn't know there was a sequel.
Yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot existed, but the second I saw that headline, I instantly was transported back to like Saturday morning and hearing the cartoon theme song,
Yeah.
Earthworm Jim, no, 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 Earthworm Jim. Ridiculous.
It's a
Yeah,
good
I
little
was like,
platformer.
Yeah. Super difficult at times, but very iconic.
a lot of those old platformers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Todd and I were talking earlier, or yesterday or recently, about our old school gaming and how to this day we still need to play Mario RPG every few years. Like there just has to be a run through, and we're pissed that there never was a actual sequel. I guess the Paper Mario games are kind of like
The spiritual successors.
spiritual successors. Yeah, so I'm so curious to check those out.
They're like
Literally after that conversation we had, I got tired of having to re-download emulators and ROMs, and I just I just went on Amazon and bought a SNES Classic.
Oh,
A
nice.
used one. It was like $150, so it's double MSRP, but you can't find them new for less than like 250.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can still find them.
Yeah, so you can still find the new ones, but they rate. I've been watching through the entire pandemic and just debating on picking them up, and you can get them anywhere between 200 to 500. It fluctuates depending on
Jeez.
what's available.
Are they?
But
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But the right now they're around, at least Amazon has them new in stock for like 250. But I bought one off of some random like video game store out of Hollywood for like a used one was like $150 or $140.
Damn, Todd, I should have just gave you my my RetroPie
Yeah.
console thing. I like never use it. Anyway.
I mean, I bought one. I literally, when you made yours, literally like a couple of months after you made yours, I
Mhm.
bought a Pi to do the same fucking thing.
Mhm.
And the thing is still sitting in in a box in my little drawer over here.
Yeah, because then you actually have to put it together and program it and everything. But
Exactly. And you have,
if you
in
can
fact,
get through that, then you know.
literally right here.
Yep. Maybe the next time we get together, if we go out to eat or something, bring the supplies and I'll make that a project. I'll load it up for you.
Well, Todd's birthday is going to be coming up soon, so we should definitely get together with him for that.
That's
anyways.
right. So,
And I'll
Some
see
work.
you. Oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'll see you in the office in 2 weeks anyway.
Yep.
Fuck. It hurts to say.
Yeah, don't say it. Stop it. It didn't happen.
And I have this for Meg.
Milka?
Ooh, yum, chocolate.
What the hell?
European chocolate bar.
Oh,
Is it better?
cool. So should we dive right in to
Sure.
the main event this
I
week?
don't care about what I'm playing, what I'm watching.
Hey Meg, what are you doing? What are you playing? What are you watching this week?
It's all hot garbage. Don't worry about it.
Please elaborate on the hot garbage.
Well, I've been playing Animal Crossing like you do.
Mhm.
I've been watching that show Inventing Anna.
Oh
And
yeah, that
Yeah, that and Euphoria. I just started 30 Rock today.
Yay, 30 Rock.
Ah,
Meg doesn't like 30 Rock.
I'm not that impressed. I don't find it funny.
It gets better later seasons. The first couple are like really a warm-up period. Once you get on like the third season, second or third, it really picks up.
All
See,
right.
everybody
That's
says
not-
the same shit about The Office, and I can never make it through the first season to get to the good parts.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
Office first season is really rough.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
And yeah, Tony mentioned all of the shows that we're watching together.
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Speaking of 30 Rock with Jack McBrayer, Andrew,
Yes.
you now that you've seen, wait, was it season one? It had to be season one. Lower
Yeah.
Decks.
Hello, father.
Not yeah, Badgie.
Clippy. What was he?
Badgie.
Badgie. Yep.
That is my favorite fucking character probably on that entire show.
It's really good.
It's just
Yeah.
so perfect and insane, and only Jack McBrayer could pull that off.
I'm still very much impressed with his voice acting. You know, I first really noticed it in Wreck-It Ralph, and then ever since then, like, I've really appreciated all the little voice stints he's done. He's really good at it.
Well, he does his just normal accent. It just makes everything sound amazing.
It's true. It's true.
I'm Badgie. Really, really close to. I would rate Alan Tudyk a bit higher because he does several types of voices. I mean, you can always kind of tell it's him, but I mean,
Yeah.
Jack McBrayer is just Jack McBrayer, and that's fine because he's great at being Jack McBrayer. But Alan Tudyk kind of has a similar sort of like I always think of like what was it, King Candy in Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah.
That was Alan Tudyk.
Speaking of Alan Tudyk, the thing I watched recently for the first time was what Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I hadn't actually watched through that all the way, so I finally
Good.
saw
I
that
love that.
from beginning to end, and yeah, really enjoyed that as
It's
well.
like legit one of my favorite horror movies. It's not
Yeah.
my favorite, but it's up there in like top 10.
Yeah,
It,
that was
it's
great.
up there for me with that and like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were rumblings about a sequel for a while, but I guess it just kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, I kind of got what is it, Cabin in the Woods vibes to a certain
Oh,
degree, but not
yeah.
nearly as much. But yeah, also really enjoyed that one. So yeah,
Yeah,
glad I
yeah.
finally sat down and put it on.
Good stuff. Well, there is some like horror related news. Well, why don't we get to the main event first, then we'll get to headlines. But this week, episode 1 of Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I'm Nigel. I'll be joining us. What happened? What are we talking about here? Andrew back? Huh?
Yeah. Basically, what the fuck
Moon-
did I just watch show?
Meg's like, well, I'm confused. Credits rolling. Yeah, so I knowing nothing, I have never read any of the comics Moon Knight. I know nothing about the source material other than what you've tried to explain to me in pieces before, Todd. But clearly, from the get-go, we see Oscar Isaac portraying a Londoner who I think he's in London or somewhere in
Yeah. London, as he says. He doesn't know why he's saying it like that, but London.
Yeah, very timid, nerdy museum guy. Loves Egyptian lore and or history and whatnot. But he's like running the gift shop, and very quickly we understand that he has a split personality thing going on. He's even aware that. Well, I think he doesn't quite say what's going on with him, or he doesn't know what's going on with him, but he's aware that he like sleepwalks or gets up in the middle of the night. Hence, he's like
He
chaining
loses
himself to the
time,
bed.
basically.
Loses time, yeah. He's like, oh, I just wake up in weird places, I'll be in the park or something.
Always tired and his body's achy too. I think he said how he just like wants to like lay down, but he can't.
Yeah, like he has all this extra energy and he's just got to move around until he's exhausted or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just off the bat, I'm gonna guess this is where we're going here. We know he's obviously connected to this crazy power. I don't know if Moon Knight is supposed to be an Egyptian god of some sort or some sort of entity that fights gods and monsters. We've got more than one person actually stuck in his head, it seems, because the one personality, the alternate personality that takes over Mark, who appears to be some sort of like James Bond super spy or mercenary of some sort, because whenever a high stress situation or a dangerous situation comes up, Steven is Oscar Isaac's, who we believe initially we're seeing Steven, the nerdy,
the dumb one.
Introduced
yeah,
to
the
him at
nerdy
first
dumb,
as a
gift shop guy.
Yeah.
He's presented as the main character to us, but then he wigs out, loses time, and Mark, the crazy action hero, is taken over, and he's waking up to he's got a gun in his hand and blood on him. Holy shit! What the fuck happened? When he ends up waking up in the Alps with like an unhinged jaw, which was hilarious. He's like, "Whoa, what the?" And then instant crazy car chase and whatnot. It's not Mark who's yelling at him, but this booming voice, like the theater god mic, and that's F. Murray Abraham.
Okay.
Yeah. Classical actor from a bunch of things. I always think of him as Salieri from the Amadeus movie back in the day. Todd, he was the melty face bad guy from Star Trek Insurrection. Yeah, that guy. But he's on the god mic in his head going like, oh god, the idiot's taken over again. Like, leave me and Mark alone. Like, leave us alone, you parasite. And he calls him a parasite, which is making me think maybe Mark is actually the original personality, which somehow split, and Steven has taken over and has been like just mild-mannered Londoner for a while. He gets the mysterious phone calls from, what was the name on the
Layla
phone? Layla? Yeah.
Layla.
Saying that she'd been calling for like weeks or months or something.
Even.
She didn't know if he was alive. So yeah, just guessing from the one episode we have, I'm thinking Mark was maybe the initial guy. He was like some crazy mercenary dude, got caught up in the Moon Knight mystical stuff. Maybe he took some job in Egypt, or I don't know, got the powers, got connected with whoever the god voice person is in his head, who seems to be like playing referee between Mark and Steven. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, those are my immediate thoughts. But otherwise, highly enjoyable, of course. Ethan Hawke looks so gross.
He's almost unrecognizable.
He's the dirty hippie cult leader, and he made me consider my hair choices, because I started thinking, ew, am I like the old guy with the gross long hair? Do I need to cut my hair immediately?
That's definitely me right now with what I got going on.
Dirty cult leader, that burnout hippie. Yeah, he's trying to sell you something in the alley. Yeah. But a good, creepy, mysterious bad guy. But yeah, okay, someone else take over. I'm just blabbing now.
I really liked it. I'm wondering, honestly, if Steven is like a fallback personality. Maybe Mark was in something too heavy, so he kind of reverted, if you will, to this other personality to let him kind of live his life so he can lay low. And then just things either caught up with him, or, he can kind of, as that voice says, kind of either be forced out or reappear as needed to kind of, as they say in the end of the movie, I can get us out of here. Not movie, the episode, like, let me save us, to kind of switch the situation. Because he, I think, is more cognizant of what's going on, both with that voice and his, obviously abilities to put on a dope ass suit of armor mystically and just handle things, as they show in that last couple seconds there. So
he wrecks that Egyptian demon dog or whatever it is.
Guy, whatever.
Anubis, sort of. Yeah.
Demon dog, basically.
A jackal. Is it a jackal? It's a jackal. Is it a jackal? I bet it's a jackal. Is it a jackal?
Demogorgon, Demogorgon, jackal, Gozer, hound from hell, whatever you want to call it.
Baby Gozer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking they originally wanted to be like this super dark kind of creepy, you know, like they said they were going to push the limits of this show on Disney Plus, and we'll see how far that goes. I mean, I did appreciate the increase in what looked like blood and violence. I thought that was a cool take, kind of harkening back to, you know, original Daredevil or whatnot on Netflix that's now being moved over to Disney Plus. So we'll see what direction they continue to go with that and how far they can kind of push those boundaries.
Yeah. Well, now that we've got the parental controls edition on Disney Plus, and I think they're more comfortable with having the big boy stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good. At first I'm like, wow, that's a little, seems like things are a bit too convoluted. He's got not one but two voices in his head.
There's more.
Oh, but wait, there's more.
There's more.
Okay.
Todd, what do you know about Moon Knight?
I know a little. I read a bit of the comics back in the day. I don't really want to say too much because it will spoil some things.
Yeah, I was just reading the Wikipedia before we started just to kind of flesh out myself on like the comic lore. I'm kind of wishing that I hadn't, because it seems like they're going to take this in a good direction and really explain everything. So I'm looking forward to how they present all this information.
Do you have any specific questions you wanted to ask, Meg?
No, I was just wondering because I'm sure you have the answers to our questions.
Now, I think, Todd, you mentioned to me before that, like many comic book characters that have been around for ages, he's had multiple like revisions and origin stories over the years, right? So based on what we've seen so far in just this episode 1, as a Moon Knight fan, does that tell you like which one they've chosen, or is it an amalgamation of several, or?
It's more the classical Moon Knight. It's in line with his original origins.
Okay.
At least what I think they're going with. But yeah, it's pretty solid so far.
In the first episode, yeah. I'm wondering if this is going to be able to be folded into the greater next version of the MCU. Do you think it'll move away from the TV show and it'll be in like movies and stuff, or is it
I don't know if they'll put him in the films other than like a supporting actor, but he definitely ties in with Blade. Should they go the Midnight Suns route? He's got Iron Fist and Daredevil and Power Man, Luke Cage. They're frequently found together, so he definitely fits in with that world too, of like the street level like Defenders universe.
Okay, with the end credit after I think it was the Eternals, then I guess they can definitely find a way then. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, so that's why I do think that he will show up with Blade, because Blade is gonna. Oh, did you watch the Eternals already, Tony?
Yeah, I finally did.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. The post-credit scene definitely setting up Blade, and we know Blade is getting his own movie in the next 4 or 5 years. So
Yep.
Blade finds a way.
And I just rewatched Blade. I watched that so fucking often, man. That's still
which one? The first one?
The first Blade, yeah.
The first two, I really like the second one as well. Like those two are such solid action, like
they really are.
vampire movies.
The second one has its moments, its action. The action is really good. I'll give it that.
The second one, is way more campier. But I think like action wise, and I think just story wise, I love the additional, vampire hunters that were put in there and stuff. The guy who played Ip Man, Ron Perlman, a bunch of other guys. I thought that was a solid take on it.
Oh shit, I forgot Ron Perlman was in it.
Yeah, well, that was a Guillermo del Toro joint, so of course Ron Perlman's in it. And of course the mutated super vampires in that are like a precursor to the strain, the whole predator mouth like chin thing opening up and whatnot. Those creeped the hell out of me when I was a kid. There is a bit of wonky CGI during the fighting, a very very dated rubber man CGI happening a few times. But other than that, solid.
Well, not only that, but you guys hear about the controversy of Blake with the Blade and Wesley Snipes with the CGI eyes during that movie?
No, what?
Oh yeah. So at one point, Wesley Snipes and Del Toro were just at odds about something. It's like when he was lying on a table and Del Toro wanted to open his eyes for one part, which he refused. He would not open his eyes. So if you look back now, you can see this really bad CGI of just his eyes open, and he's just like sitting there, and it's decently hard to tell. But if you know, you're like, oh, that's when he wouldn't open them right there.
I believe it because I have heard multiple stories of Wesley Snipes being famously difficult to work with during those years.
Interesting.
Either directing or paying taxes, he just won't do it.
Yeah. There you go. Just a quick side note. We don't have to dwell on it or anything. I mean, it is pretty big news. It's kind of sad, but speaking of people who are known for being difficult, unfortunate, sad news for Bruce Willis. If you saw the headlines, his family announced that he was stepping away, retiring from acting due to his declining health. Apparently, he's been diagnosed with aphasia. Yep. Which you lose your sense of being able to understand language for people and also to communicate, which is terrifying. I guess this is usually something that happens like after an accident or something.
Or it's also a sign of dementia can bring it on as well, which has been a rumor for a while that early onset dementia, which this might be more or less confirming at this point. Yeah, which that sucks. Yeah. For just kind of shrugged up. Like, I've always loved Bruce Willis movies, but have definitely always heard like, oh man, the guy's like an asshole to work with and has the same like big headedness like the Wesley Snipes stories. But I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That sucks. That's a shitty way to retire. But anyway. Hopefully he did enough B movies and straight to DVDs to kind of carry him through this retirement and leave a nice nest egg for his kids. So
I think he's coming out with like 8 movies that he just finished up with.
Of course he is.
Yeah, or something like that. It's quite a significant number because David Harding posted about how he worked on like 5 of them.
Oh wow.
So they're all set to come out in the next couple of years.
Yeah, he's really prolific dude. Like he does a fuck ton of movies, even if you don't see half of them or see the promotion for half of them. Like he puts out like 4 to 5 movies a year.
He's cashing all those checks for sure.
Yeah.
So
all right, well, good for him. Yeah.
I'd be doing the same thing if I could. Seriously.
Well, a toast to Bruce Willis. Thank you for all the years of yippee-ki-ying and shit.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
Yes. So yeah, and that's what I think about Moon Knight. No, good stuff. And other old bald guys still kicking ass. Todd, I know you'd love to talk about Picard.
Do we want to talk about it, Andrew? Do you care about spoilers or?
As much as I want to watch it, it's not going to be anytime soon. So you go ahead, and I doubt I'll keep it as much in mind when I watch it. So go ahead, and I'll enjoy it at my own pace.
Okay. So we are on the 5th episode now, I believe it was.
5th already?
I think it's 5th. Yeah. And we have some Picard lore now. We know one of his ancestors was one of our space pioneers in the what is it? 2024 that they're in right now, so a couple of years from now.
I think so, yeah, something like that. 23, 24.
Yeah, so she is the pilot for the Europa mission, which is one of Saturn's moons, I believe, and one of the ones that is most one of the planets or planetary bodies in our solar system that is also most hospitable toward life.
For those like Andrew who might not have started Picard and don't care about spoilers because you're still listening to this, basically this season starts off, the action is pretty damn quick. Q, who we all know and love from Next Generation, is back, baby, and predictably, as I called this, which I think is wonderful, they did exactly what I expected them to do. Because
I was the one that called this joke. I called this joke first. I called the bit first.
the about his age.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was a me thing.
All right, it was one of us. But on the Getting Off Topic podcast, we predicted that once we heard that they were bringing back John Delancey as Q, he's this, all powerful entity from, whatever, the Q dimension or what have you. So,
ageless, immortal.
Yeah, immortal. He doesn't age. So, I mean, they had those little one-off episodes where he was punished by the other Q entities and like becomes temporarily human and stuff. Which was amazing. But yeah, at this point, he's back to his normal self, or so it seems. There's some mystery there too. But he appears before Picard, and it was kind of a bad CG. It was a little shoddy CG shot. Like they had him at a distance. He looked a little fuzzy, but he looked like 90s era John Delancey. And he appears before Picard, and he's like, "You Q, you bastard, blah, 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 blah." He's like, "Oh, you're older than I expected. Here, snap." And then he becomes like his current age. He's like, "There, that's better." But anyway, but yeah, Q comes in, fucks up the timeline, and Picard, and along with his like ragtag crew that he scrounges together in season 1, go back in time, and that's where we are now. They're trying to figure out what Q changed to change their history and right the wrong.
Well, first thing that happens is they're all literally about to die.
Right.
So they're all about to die in the prime timeline, and then
in a confrontation with the Borg Queen.
Yeah, and Q does his Q thing and snaps, and suddenly they're all alive in this alternate, like in the Terran Empire alternate universe, and they're all like in that universe, and then
where the
then they
Federation
go back
is,
in time, and they have to figure out where the divergence is in time back then.
Yeah, whatever
So
Q did, it turned basically the Federation becomes like space Nazis effectively, with Picard at the head. But yeah, so this episode they start to learn more about that. Picard's ancestor, this Renee Picard, I think it was, is on the Europa mission, and Q is effectively
manipulating her, as
posing as her therapist to psych her out to give into the fear and not go on the mission, and somehow butterfly effect down the road that leads to humanity going awry. But Guinan has made an appearance, Whoopi Goldberg, and then traveling back in time, we see young Guinan, because she's also hundreds or thousands of years old or what have you, but living on Earth in disguise as a human.
Which there is one pet peeve of mine. They fucked up the continuity a little bit. She should have already recognized Picard, because when he shows up, she doesn't recognize him.
Right.
But she should recognize him because she met him in the 1800s with Mark Twain. If you remember Next Gen, the Iconian episodes.
Nice poll.
Doing the Iconian hunting and stuff. She's in that episode with Mark Twain, and she meets Picard.
I don't remember that. That wasn't just like a holodeck Mark Twain?
No, that was literal actual Mark Twain, because remember,
back to 1800s, yeah.
Because it was Iconian shit, and Iconian shit is always like time travel-y / like super teleportation all over the place.
Okay.
But yeah, it was back in time. They were back on, and Data's head, I think, gets left on Earth. So Data's head is stuck there for a bit. I mean, time travel, they fuzz it out because it gets left there, but then they can go back to it instantly and pick it back up and shove it back on his head, and he's perfectly fine. But
well, thank God you're here, Todd, to right the wrongs. You better write the producers immediately.
I watched so much Star Trek when I was a kid due to my brother. So like Next Gen, I've got way too much Next Gen trivia in my head.
I do remember that at some point they met Mark Twain, or I didn't know if it was real or like a holodeck version, but the acting choice on that, I mean, okay, I never met Mark Twain in my life, but man, they went thick with the full-on foghorn leghorn, like, boy, I said, boy.
That's how you got to do it.
It was very 90s. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. What else happened this episode? Borg Queen stirring up the shit. They need the Borg Queen to help them travel back in time to do that maneuver like around the sun, like Kirk did 100 times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We got Brent Spiner back again.
Brent Spiner, yeah. Oh yeah, in very Trek fashion. So this is another Dr. Soong, like the Dr. Soong who created Data. This is his great grandpappy, who also happens to be a Dr. Soong, and also happens to look exactly like Brent Spiner for convenience sake. Who is a geneticist and trying to cure his daughter's weird disorder, and so Q,
who looks like the twin robots that will eventually be created later on.
Right. So yeah, it's fun. It's interesting. I'm enjoying it. I love everything.
This may actually be the same Soong. I don't know, because if I remember correctly, Dr. Soong is a geneticist. So if I remember correctly, in Star Trek lore, he is super long lived. Like he lives for like a couple hundred years.
He is able to modify his own genes to add that long life.
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay.
And not just that, but people in like the next gen era do live longer average lifespans. Like McCoy was
medical technology.
Yeah, McCoy lived to like 180 or something like that, 190.
Yeah, but right now they're in modern times. They're in 2024 or 23 or 24 or something.
And he's a cutting edge geneticist, so he might be able to figure out to extend his lifespan for. All he has to do is live like another 40 years, and he meets the Vulcans and Vulcan technology.
All right. It's a little bit of a stretch, but or maybe they'll explain it away with whatever Q's doing here or something. I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah. Okay. That's fun. I'm enjoying it. I don't know how many episodes they have left, but I know they've finished filming season 3, and that's a wrap on the whole show. So I like that they've got it all planned out. They're doing a solid beginning, middle, end.
That's good. Yeah, I've seen clips of it. I was really excited when I saw the Borg Queen, and it looks like it's still the same actress as well, portraying the Borg Queen throughout.
I'm not sure. Is it?
It's one of the two actresses that played the Borg Queen. So they've had two different actresses. One played it for First Contact. One played it for Voyager.
Okay, and I think it's the First Contact Borg Queen, or at least it looks like her. She has a lot of the same features. Like could be prosthetics, but
either way, she does a great job.
Yeah.
The Borg,
as hell.
yeah, the Borg were one of my favorite kind of villains. Like even across, not only in Star Trek, but just overall. Like that's a cool ideology of just consuming whole cultures and assimilating them, and disposing of what isn't necessary. And yeah. Creepy but cool.
Oh, show.
You guys looking it up now?
I'm trying to, yeah.
Alice Krieg was the First Contact Borg Queen. Definitely, it's not her.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
I don't know who did in Voyager, but anyway. Yeah.
Oh, well, it looked like her. I enjoyed her Borg Queen performance.
For sure. Systems is futile.
It's actually a third actress, Annie Wershing. So it is somebody else.
Okay, doke.
Anything else on Picard, or are you good?
No, I'm loving it. It's I think of the new era of Trek. I think it's my favorite of the shows.
For sure. Do you know if Frakes is coming back this season?
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
Maybe
I think he's directed an episode.
Yep.
By the way, the last episode or the last 2 episodes directed by Leah Thompson.
Oh yeah. Oh, she had a cameo in this one.
Yeah, she also had a cameo.
Yeah, she was one of the whatever that board meeting was with Dr. Soong telling him like we're cutting your funding and blah 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 because of your unethical experimenting and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah,
Nice.
as well. And completely random, but very wholesome and near and dear to my heart news. Ron Howard and Brian Grazer are teaming up for a documentary on Jim Henson.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It has like full backing of the Henson family too, I've heard, which is awesome. So
yeah, because I think they're kind of cagey sometimes about that sort of stuff, like his legacy being exploited and whatnot. And
well, if anybody's going to handle it properly, it'll be Ron Howard.
yeah.
for sure. But yeah, this is supposed to be the definitive documentary of Jim Henson, never before seen, personal archives, film footage, the whole works and everything. So that's sweet. Anything Muppets, I always perk up like, ooh. Even if I don't watch like the new shows, they're probably geared more towards kids, but it's just one of those things.
I was just thinking about this yesterday. I'm really sad that they canceled the mockumentary Muppets show that was on a couple. That was so good. Like,
I loved it. It got like review bombed. I don't understand why people didn't like it.
It was so fun. Like it was like I thought the spiritual successor, like The Office, but with Muppets now. Like I really enjoyed that. But
Yeah.
I guess just a candle that burns twice as bright burns twice as fast, and that's all it did.
I guess so. They had a good 2 seasons, I think.
I think it was only one even.
Yeah.
Sadly.
All right. Anyway.
Could be wrong, but yeah.
Yep. Other TV. Oh, we got a big reboot movie. Bill Skarsgård, aka Pennywise. Skarsgård, one of the many Skarsgårds. Bill Skarsgård is going to star in a reboot of The Crow. That's finally happening.
Oh,
yeah.
So this isn't Crow like 5. They're actually rebooting it.
They're rebooting. They've been trying to remake it for years now. Like Jason Momoa was rumored to be attached for a while, and that those rumors died. I don't know if it's rumors or actually he was on board for a while, but that didn't make sense to me because it's you need like a slender goth dude. Like you need a creepy dude. Like it's not about muscles with The Crow, more like supernatural. Yeah, I don't know. I don't 100% see him, but I mean, he could surprise me. I mean, he's amazing as Pennywise, and I'm sure I don't doubt his acting ability. It's just like I'm not quite seeing the look yet. But
yeah, not quite. He seems almost too, I don't know, oddly small and skinny, but I guess that's the appeal. So yeah.
But yeah, that's happening. I think they just announced him. There's no like production dates or anything. Oh, they're going to start production in June. See what happens there.
Yep.
It's been so damn long since I even saw the original. I would have to rewatch. I don't remember much of it, and I never saw any of the 3 or 4 sequels direct to video.
There's a few, right? Because I know they tried to do one a couple years later with
one with Eddie Furlong.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so it was 3 movies total. The first one was 90. No, wait, sequel 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, so the original was 94, then 96, Crow City of Angels. Not to be confused with the Meg Ryan and Nick Cage movie. The Crow Salvation in 2000 and The Crow Wicked Prayer in 2005.
Wow, they did one in 2005?
Yeah.
All right.
And there was a TV show for a short while, late 90s.
I don't even see Wicked Prayer what was the third one you said?
The third one was Wicked Prayer. Second one was Salvation.
That's one. Yeah, I don't see that one on here. Oh, well.
All right.
Yeah.
See what happened. Oh, Bill Skarsgård is also going to be in John Wick Chapter 4.
Nice.
Okay.
Very cool. And he voiced a character named Crow in Eternals. I don't remember who that was.
I don't either.
Oh yeah, it was the the weird mutant guy that they were fighting who looked like an actual person.
Oh, maybe the
Yeah.
weird.
Super small role. He had like 5 lines, if not less.
Oh,
in a
yeah.
very small part.
That was him. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
See what happens there. Speaking of it, actually, apparently HBO Max is working on a prequel series, a prequel show, Welcome to Derry, which will tie in direct prequels for the new iteration of it.
I'm still torn on if I want to watch those, and I still haven't watched them
No?
because I was traumatized as a kid from fucking it.
They're really good.
That's what everybody says. They are good, but I see them every time I cruise through HBO Max, and it's on my recommended. But I was like, no, I don't fucking want to watch them.
Todd, just watch them like when the sun is out, and
There
you've
you
got
go.
plenty of time to watch some cartoons afterwards.
There you go.
Take lots of breaks.
I'll make sure I'll make sure I have one of my cats in my lap.
Yes.
Todd's gonna be like baby Bart with the creepy ramshackle crusty bed. Can't sleep. Clown will eat me. Yep. Another one in the classic horror related not remakes. This is actually a continuation. The Chucky TV series. Did you hear about that one?
I heard that was doing pretty well. It's a sci-fi only.
Yeah, it's actually been a hit. And season
Jennifer
2,
Tilly came back for that, right?
She's in all of them because that's her bread and butter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's a professional poker player. She makes decent money from that too.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Me neither. Interesting.
I guess she kind of appeared here and there in the first season, kind of like helping bridge the story along because it centers around like new characters mostly. But they confirmed she's gonna be back for season 2. That's coming this fall. So we have the whole thing on our DVR. We just haven't started it yet because we've been doing a bunch of other shows. But yeah, I'm interested in that.
Interesting.
Yep. That's another one. It's like it gave me nightmares as a kid, but I still like it was cool enough that I still wanted to watch it. And I was like excited, but also messed me up for a while. Like when I saw Jurassic Park, the first one in theaters when I was like 6 or 7, I was at that age where it's like, oh, cool, dinosaurs. I'm excited. But I also had dreams about velociraptors like ripping my head off. Yep.
I think that's one of the ones that it didn't quite traumatize me as much as it, but it was definitely up there.
I mean, you can't beat a creepy clown.
Well, what traumatized me was they always played the TV version of Pet Sematary, and to this day, like the bit that scares me is the sister Rachel, who's locked up in the basement, and when they reveal her coming out and she's all skin and bone and like I couldn't sleep from that shit. That was what got me. This is where you say cool story, bro.
Cool story, bro.
Thanks.
Hey guys, this is actually a little old news. I think it came out like right after we recorded last, but that Netflix Wednesday Addams series, Christina Ricci is actually going to be back in it.
Wednesday Addams added Wednesday Addams.
But
is it just Wednesday or is it the whole family?
She's not playing Wednesday.
She's not playing Wednesday.
Right,
yeah. There's a new young girl playing Wednesday. They haven't revealed what her character is, but it's just some new character. But a nice little nod that Christina Ricci's in it. I think she's whatever character that Thora Birch was going to play originally, because she ended up quitting the show like in mid-production, like personal reasons or something. Like for some reason she couldn't continue on the show and she left.
I think she's playing a foil or an antagonist. I think she's playing something like that.
Okay. All right.
We have our release date for the Game of Thrones prequel finally.
Oh,
House of the Dragon set to debut on August 21st.
All right.
Day before my birthday.
Nice.
Cool.
Speaking of birthdays, I get an extra birthday present. Obi-Wan has been delayed for 2 days to premiere on May 27th.
May
So I
27th.
get May 27th, I get Obi-Wan and I get Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Very good.
I'm gonna have plenty to do on my birthday.
Yeah. All the nostalgia vibes.
And speaking of Star Wars, Mandalorian season 3 has officially wrapped filming.
I did see that. That's rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Another
if
one.
it's wrapping filming now, it's probably expected early next year, then like February, March next year, I'd guess.
Okay. Unless they try
How
to
many
rush it for the
episodes?
holidays, maybe.
How many episodes until he calls Boba Fett for help, you think? 4 or 5, maybe?
How many? Wait, say it again.
How many episodes before he calls Boba Fett in for help, do you think? Fourth, fifth episode?
I think it'll be pretty early on. I think this is going to be like the Avengers season where they call it all in to try to retake Mandalore.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I buy that. I would say mid-season he shows up.
Yeah, not too early. I think they still want to make it more about him. And I meant it more as a jest, but I can see that happening for sure.
But don't forget these seasons are pretty short. I think they're only like 7-8 episodes.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Speaking of fun times on Disney, James Gunn was interviewed this past week. Just talking about all his current projects, talking about Peacemaker season 2. Yes, all that good stuff. And then they focused on Guardians, of course, Guardians Volume 3 coming soon-ish. I think there were some first pictures of what's his face as Adam Warlock from the set.
Yeah, I think that's from the holiday special though, because we get the holiday special before we get 3.
Yeah. So I have no idea if those pictures put out were from the holiday special or not, but the interview was focusing on the holiday special a lot, and James Gunn basically said it's the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. He is so excited for it. He said it's insane. He can't believe like he's getting to do this, and he made it clear that it's more of a straight homage to the Star Wars holiday special than it is a parody. He's not being cynical about it. He legit loved the Star Wars holiday special as a child. So it's not going to be like an hour of them like making fun of it. They're leaning in hard. So I can't wait until there are like ridiculous ballads about like Life Day or whatever they're trying to wherever they're trying to do to get home to the holidays. I can't wait for it.
Yeah. Groot's species Life Day, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, and they have to have like full costumed actors and like awkward like child Groot like creatures gathering around a Life Day tree or something.
Oh, so they're like Whovians or Whoville people? Who's like standing around a giant tree?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to expect except something insane.
It'll be fun either way. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. It was also difficult to pull headlines for the podcast, seeing as yesterday was April 1st, and a lot of websites and a lot of people in general like to throw out wacky shit out there, which is totally fake. But Bruce Campbell, of course, played into it and posted on Twitter a tease, what appears to be him in the makeup chair for Doctor Strange. Because he's like some makeup artist is putting like the big like white sides on the sides of his head, and he said, what was the quote? "I always feel a little strange when I work on a Sam Raimi movie. #multiverse." And he's got like the kind of Doctor Strange looking beard and everything. So I have no idea if there's any truth to it or it's him just fucking with us, but I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Didn't he play as Doctor Strange on like a TV series or something? Am I totally missing that? Getting the wrong person?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Interesting.
He's just been the fan cast for Doctor Strange for
That's okay.
decades.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And like a year or so back when they were filming in London, I believe, he was he made mention on Twitter, like he posted something. He happened to be in London around the same time that it was revealed that the production of Doctor Strange 2 was in London at that time. And so he's been teasing us for a while, like, maybe I'm doing something here, maybe I'm not, whatever. I just happen to be in London. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. On the Sony side of the Marvel universe, Morbius is getting actually decent box office, scathing reviews.
Yeah, I haven't heard great things.
I have,
And it's not just like bad reviews from like critics; it's bad reviews from like average moviegoers. Like the audience rating is just trash too.
I have yet to see anything positive mentioned about
really?
Morbius. I don't know.
Isn't that another Jared Leto movie?
That's Jared Leto, yeah.
How
Another
pissed
Jared
must
Leto.
he be?
The meme is great. The meme is it's a picture of Darth Maul with the words Jared Leto over it, and it's him in episode 1 where he's approaching Kenobi and Qui-Gon, and he extends the first lightsaber blade, and it's the worst DC movie. And then it extends the other side of the lightsaber blade, and it's the worst Marvel movie.
God.
I saw one that was being passed around. A couple of my friends shared it, and it was it looked like just like a random tweet, and there's a picture of somebody's like car window busted into, like somebody threw a brick through it or something, and the person who wrote the tweet said something like, "Hey guys, just be aware. Like, be careful out there. My car was broken into and somebody dropped like 4 tickets to Morbius or something, like gave him tickets, didn't steal them, gave them to him. Like, be careful out there."
Am I blanking? What DC movie was he in?
Suicide Squad.
He was the Joker.
Oh,
Joker. Yeah,
boy.
Double O
Okay, how'd I
Joker,
forget that? Yup. Okay.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I really like Suicide Squad, but I really didn't like his Joker.
Mhm. Yeah.
It was an awful movie.
It was fine. I'm glad I watched it once. I am glad I saw it once.
Yeah.
So.
We watched, that was another thing we watched the past 2 weeks. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Finally watched that. It's fine. Yeah. Like the first one better. Second one was like, I don't know. It's like, cool, you did Carnage and you had 90 minutes of some pretty slapdash CGI fights and a good joke here and there. Tom Hardy is always, he's a good actor. But the story was, I kind of snoozed through it.
I'm upset. We finally get Carnage, and it has to be this garbage, and we don't get Spider-Man interacting with Carnage.
Yeah,
it would have been
There
cool.
was-
At least the
Bullshit.
tail end put Venom back in the possible MCU Spider-Man universe. So that's something.
Yeah, that was a weird. I looked up afterwards, like what was the meaning behind that, because like it's him and Eddie just hanging out in like a hotel room somewhere, like this crappy hotel, and then something seemingly multiverse happens, like a wave goes through and suddenly they're in this like beautiful resort hotel. And
You haven't seen Homecoming yet, have you?
Oh, okay. Does that tie in then?
I'm
don't
not
know.
going to say.
It does. I don't know how exactly, because even having seen both, I'm not even sure how that works, because it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, I haven't. Please don't spoil.
No. I can't say without spoiling.
Yeah. But yeah, I know.
Just text it to me.
Yeah, you guys can talk amongst yourselves. But I assume, of course, I know that multiversal shit happens in No Way Home, and things get changed, rearranged somehow. What I don't understand yet is if there's a solid tie to that's why that end credit scene for Let There Be Carnage, that things go all wonky for Eddie and Venom. And suddenly they're in a universe where Spider-Man exists on the TV and whatnot. So I don't know.
Yep, you got to see it. It's so good. It's probably one of my top Marvel movies. That new Spider-Man. It's so good.
Yeah, I want to. So it's available to buy digitally, which I don't want to do.
You can. It should also be available to rent, but I think it's coming to Disney Plus within 2 months.
Ooh, okay.
I hadn't seen anything yet. A lot of reports are saying it might be like going to Stars first or something because of the Sony rights agreements or something.
That's
And
possible.
there's no exact drop date yet, so who knows when. But yeah, you can't even rent it digitally yet. Like you can only buy for like $20. And the disc versions, the DVD and Blu-ray and whatnot, I think are coming like on the 12th, maybe in like 10 days or so. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna get impatient. I might pick up the disc copy because I know it's gonna be one that I want to own.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yep. The other movie that I'm extremely excited for, which is getting insanely positive reviews and also deals with multiverse, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I want to see that so bad. Every time I see a preview, makes me want to see it that much more.
We talked about it last time. Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's since then it's been released. It's on a limited release so far. It's like indie A24 film, and then it expands to nationwide theaters. I don't have the exact date, but in the next couple weeks or so. But even now, in just a limited release, it's like the best A24 film ever, like financially at the box office. It's doing amazingly well. Crazy, like 97% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, like critics and audience. Everybody adores this movie. Everybody's like,
it's got Michelle Yeoh. It's going to be amazing.
Go watch it now. Yeah. Yep. That one I'm excited for. And I'm awesome. I'm glad that it's doing so well. Like it's not just like a critical success. It's like making tons of money, which is rad. Yep. Let's see what else I got. One last one for Marvel. About a week or so back, they announced. Now this is a shocker. Black Panther 2 actually wrapped filming.
Wow.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
Yeah,
I've gone through so many fucking production delays and reshoots and retooling and rewriting. It's going to be a completely different fucking movie from when they started shooting it.
Yeah.
I
mean, I trust, Marvel. I trust the Marvel side of Marvel and Feige to, keep steering the ship right. Like even with all the wackiness and rewrites and everything they had to do, I can't imagine they would release a shoddy film. And then again, Eternals. I mean,
Black Widow.
Still haven't seen that one.
I liked Black Widow. Call me crazy. I liked Black Widow.
I thought Eternals was fine. Like it wasn't, the best, but it's worth it.
It was an hour too long
to see the storyline.
I expect so I'm more invested in the Black Panther characters, the surrounding, obviously, T'Challa's gone, but I'm more invested in that part of the MCU. So no matter what, I think I'm going to be more entertained and invested in Black Panther 2.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I agree as well, but I'm slowly leaning toward the camp that is saying to protect Chadwick's legacy instead of ignoring him, instead of just letting the character die in some way, recast it.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and recast it.
Yeah, it's such a tough call either way, but yeah, it's kind of
because that character is so iconic and so kind of even now important to the general universe. Like, don't let it just die off. Like, have someone else take the reins respectfully and continue that role. Like, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the gut reaction initially was to protect. Was to let the character ride off into the sunset and don't use it. But at this point, I think
you just Poochie him. I have to go home now. My planet needs me.
but I think Chadwick would want the character to continue because it is an important role model. It's a good character. It's a strong character. I think they should recast it. I hope they don't kill him off in a way that would prevent them from recasting it. But then again, we are in the era of multiverse, so
Well, I
anything
think
Turns out that first one was a scroll all along, and the new one's the real one. They just didn't face right.
Well, what I think they should do is just pass the mantle down somehow. And like, I think it would be really cool if his sister became the new Black Panther.
I think that was a lot of the fan rumors or
I think that was the original plan,
Mhm.
but she is proved to be unpredictable and controversial. The
Yep.
actress that plays her,
Shuri.
so they don't want to put like AAA like shoulder anything on her shoulders.
All right, fine, Michonne then.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
okay
that
with
works.
that.
Yeah.
That would be great. She's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, she's already got
Oh, yeah.
like the
Down with it.
acrobatics and shit down now too. And
Honestly, I'm definitely on that camp. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that works. Denai Guerrera, give her the throne. Yeah. And the film, don't forget, the film's also introducing Ironheart
Riri
by
Williams, yeah.
Dominic
Oh,
Thorne.
okay, forgot about that.
And then we do have rumors that Namor is in it.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of characters to introduce. Well, I guess I could do it.
Do we know who's playing that character at all, or it's just a rumor that character will be in it?
It was I don't remember his last name. It was like Huerta something.
Okay.
Don't know.
Yeah. Okie doke.
All right. Another production that has officially finished filming, The Walking Dead. For 12 years and 177 episodes, The Walking Dead has filmed its last scene ever. Which, I mean, not really, because they've got 1,000 spinoffs coming, but you know,
the main show.
The main show, yeah, finished filming. They're in the middle of their like extended final season right now. They're like in the middle of they've separated into like 3 parts, like 3 chunks of episodes, and they're in the middle of the second part right now. I'm really enjoying it. I think the last season or so has really picked back up again and really progressed with all the different communities kind of coming together and clashing and stuff. If you're familiar with the storyline, if you've kept watching it all, the Commonwealth, which is like the most bringing back society, but they're also like scary and militant. So it's, you know, they're dangerous too, but I'm really digging it. I'm liking it a lot now. And it makes me excited now that they've got well, actually there is some news there. I don't think we talked about this last time. I think it came after. So we already knew there was multiple spinoffs happening. There's still one supposed to be being planned with Daryl and Carol. They're gonna Daryl and Carol gonna have their own little spinoff. There's a 6 episode anthology series called Tales of the Walking Dead. We've mentioned that before, with just telling random stories, one-off stories with new and returning characters.
And apparently the cast for that is crazy. There was like a bunch of like big names that are coming in for that.
Yeah, I can't
like
think.
Terry Crews is the one that I can remember most.
Oh, nice.
Terry Crews, yeah. There was a few comedians in there. Jillian Bell, which is hilarious. Yeah, there's a few random ones, but I'm kind of curious about that. And it'll be cool to have like one-off like character episodes. But more recently, they announced Isle of the Dead, which sounds like the craziest one so far because it focuses along with Maggie and Negan pairing up, which is crazy because they want to fucking kill each other. If you're, you know what? So it's crazy that Maggie and Negan, there's been a lot of them since Lauren Cohan came back to the show in the last season and a half or whatever, because they never.
Didn't she leave for a television show and the television show got canceled?
Yeah, Whiskey Cavalier coming to ABC.
Oh, that's what it was.
And there it went. I predicted like, oh, they'll get a season if they're lucky. And they got like, I don't know, I think half a season aired before they got canceled. But yeah. But yeah, she's great. She's been back on the show like she never even left, and it's good times. Yeah, right there, Todd.
Upstairs neighbors problems. I don't
Grab a
know
broom.
if
Just go to town on that ceiling.
I don't know if they're babysitting a toddler or if their toddler just suddenly learned how to run, but for the last like week, I've like for 8 hours a day, all I can hear is
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear that on the mic, but
Can't hear it now. Yeah, see, this is when you become old man with the broom. Yeah.
I've considered it a couple of times because
God damn you kids.
Maybe they adopted a really fat duck. I mean, it could be
Possibly.
anything, really.
I could have got a new dog and it just sounds like 2 foot instead of 4.
Hey, that duck has hormone issues, Andrew. Show some respect.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to foul shame.
Yeah.
That's not my intention.
So anyway,
Sorry.
it's all good. AMC announced
He just has big feathers. It's just really heavy feathers.
big feathered, yes. Very big feathered. Isle of the Dead, a 6-episode spinoff from Walking Dead that sees Maggie and Negan explore, quote, a post-apocalyptic Manhattan long ago cut off from the mainland, which screams all kinds of Escape from New York for me. So I'm excited for this.
I mean, I was excited for Fear the Walking Dead being set in LA, and they were in LA for all of 5 fucking episodes. So
yeah, but you got to admit, once they started to like soft reboot the show, like season 4 was it? I think it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, but that the original premise was was Walking Dead, but in LA, and then on a fucking boat out in the water, and both of those premises were gone within a couple of episodes, and then it just became Fear the Walking Dead Mexico for 2 years,
and Walking Dead Texas Rangers, and and now
and Walking Dead Fallout.
Yeah, I love it. I love that they're constantly like reinventing it. That one's coming back soonish, I think this month.
Yeah, I think so.
Did you catch up with it, Todd?
The last episode I think I saw was the when the nuke went off. Was there another episode? Was there another season after that?
Oh yeah. They're they're currently in the following season. They did the mid-season break.
Yeah, so I haven't seen after the nuke drop.
Okay. Yeah, you got a handful of episodes to watch.
Okay.
Yep. See, I think that's it I get for headlines. Oh, one last one. A really bizarre. This is kind of like this legendary thing that people have talked about that has never come to fruition, but I guess is now. Phil Tippett. If you're not familiar with that name, he is an old school animator, stop motion artist from back in the day. He actually he originally worked on the first Jurassic Park back when they were unsure how to create the dinosaurs. Initially, they hired Phil Tippett, and he was going to do like a sort of like stop motion sort of thing. And they saw it and realized like, this is garbage, or it's not realistic enough as they wanted it. And like we watched some documentary on this because I remember seeing the whole story play out. It's kind of sad for Phil Tippett because he did all this work, like with the stop motion animatics and everything. With you can find clips online of like stop motion raptors and like the kitchen scene where the kids are hiding from them and stuff. And he created all of that and worked his ass off on it. At the same time, there were these other guys, this rogue guy at ILM who was secretly working on the computer generated T-Rex and trying to get it. He was working like in a basement somewhere and not telling anybody because they're like, no, this is the way we're going to do this. This is the way, Phil, this is Phil's job, blah, 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 blah. And this guy went rogue and created the CGI T-Rex, just like a quick couple second shot of him walking on the computer. and showed it to Spielberg and like Kathleen Kennedy, and they're like, holy shit, that's it. We're doing that. The computers can do it. See, we're doing it. And Phil Tippett basically got the boot. They kept him on as like dinosaur movement advisor or something, but basically the stop motion lost and the CGI won. But anyway, around that same time, he was working on his own like pet project called Mad God, like this feature length like stop motion animated thing, like some crazy post-apocalyptic something or other. I completely forgot about this until I saw this Deadline article just a few days ago. But it's kind of this forgotten project, like 30 years in the making. And I guess he did a Kickstarter a few years back to raise some more funds to complete it. He finally did complete it. It's screened at a few film festivals, and now it's going to be available on Shudder. So, yeah.
Is it horror?
If you've seen the preview, it looks crazy. Like it looks straight out of like you're walking through hell or something like that. It looks super cool though. To know that it's all like stop-go animation is pretty amazing.
Yeah, let's see. In Mad God, a corroded diving bell descends amidst a ruined city with an assassin emerging from it to explore a labyrinth of bizarre landscapes inhabited by freakish denizens. The inspiration from the film came to Tippett, whose visual effects work can be seen in such legendary films as Star Wars, RoboCop, Starship Troopers.
Oh, that gem. Starship Troopers.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Hey, don't knock Starship Troopers, damn it.
That movie rocks.
Yeah. It's
I thought there was a sarcastic tone there.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about, Todd.
Would you like to know more, Todd? I would like to know more.
There's a reason why that movie's on every network after 3 a.m.
And he's also, I guess I didn't even know this, but his visual effects production company is still going, Tippett Studio. He's done some work for Book of Boba Fett. He did second season of Mandalorian, some work there. Second season of Netflix's Lock and Key, which I forgot that exists. That's been recommended to me by many a geek, but I have not watched it yet. And some work on the Orville too. Nice.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Hurry up and come back.
Yeah, no shit.
Every time you mention it, I have to just like will it to come back faster.
Orville! McFarlane! All right. Anyway, that's all the headlines I got. Anything else, guys? Anything I missed?
I got nothing. We covered it all. It was a surprisingly slowish week for geek movie news.
Yeah.
Even
Hey, the
WonderCon
Oscars happened.
We don't need to talk about the Oscars.
We really don't.
Tony, get the Oscars out your fucking mouth. Okay.
That's the title of the podcast.
There you go.
Jeez.
And yet you don't talk about it at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
That's fine. Yeah. No, I mean, even like WonderCon is happening this weekend and haven't heard anything big as of yet. So
Yeah, nothing came out of WonderCon that I've seen major, at least.
I didn't even know our friend Rachel was there today, and I mean, I just saw. Oh, she was there all weekend. Yeah.
Well, the weekend is still going to.
Okay.
It's literally only Saturday, Tony.
Yeah, I just saw.
But I mean, what happens on Sunday? Not a lot.
Not a lot.
That's where all the good deals are. That's where you can haggle with people.
Yeah, that's where you get half off a graphic novel or something.
Yeah, you get the leftovers.
Yeah, with whatever's left though, all the good stuff is going.
Yeah. I got a little bit of FOMO seeing her Instagram stories. I'm like, man, it's been. I think 2018 was the last one that we went to, WonderCon.
Yeah, I think so. I think I went with you guys that year, or the year before would be my last. I don't remember if you guys went to a WonderCon after I left.
No.
We went to 17 and 18.
Yeah.
And I don't think we went to 19 because I was working and Tony was working.
Yeah.
I think in 19 I might have borrowed Shannon's cousin's badge to walk around for a couple hours, but that I might be thinking of a different year.
Mm.
That's the thing with WonderCon is you go one day and you've seen it all.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Unless there's panels or something that you want to do on another day, like you really only need a 1-day pass.
Exactly.
Yeah. Monsterpalooza is coming up soon too, I think in May. But of course I'm working all that weekend. But that's a big one in Pasadena. We don't really go to. We went once.
Well, we tried to go once.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's
Out.
issues with that. But we usually go to Son of Monster Palooza, which is the smaller one in Burbank, in Burbank Marriott. And that one's cool. It's fun. Like if you're even curious about like makeup effects and creature stuff and like monster movies and everything, it's just a cool little walk around. And it's small. You can do
it's a tiny venue. I have fond memories of that little venue because there was a number of Star Trek conventions that were held there a while ago. They used to be held at the Pasadena one where Monster Palooza, because that's actually a pretty big venue. But Star Trek waned in popularity for a few years there in like mid 2000s to like 2010s. There was no shows. It was just Enterprise at the time, and Enterprise kind of sucked. So it moved from the Pasadena venue to the Burbank venue, and that was a really tiny venue, and it was fun. Like you got to like the seating arena was only maybe like 100, 200 people. So like you're never too far away that you couldn't actually see the people that you're there to see.
Well, yeah, it feels very intimate. You can see on the other side of the room.
Yeah. You know. We saw a little presentation when do you remember that show Face Off on Sci-Fi, the like makeup effects and whatever? Yeah, we were really into that when that was on, and they had a little presentation there, and one year we went, and it was it's just this like small little auditorium room, and it was cool to be nice up close.
The host was there. I think Shen and my daughter have a picture with her. Funny enough, Mackenzie, whatever. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, there. We see a lot of the
Westmore.
Yeah, we saw a lot of the people that were on the show because they all go to those circuits and stuff.
Actually, I saw hilarious, one of my favorite videos that pops up in my Facebook memories every couple of years.
Oh my god, Tom.
What?
Is it the one where I'm running away from the like mannequin dude that's chasing me?
No, although that's hilarious too.
Edit that out.
No. There's we met RJ Hattie, who was one of the contestants on one of the seasons of Face Off, and he went to that con, Son of Monster Palooza, in full penguin, like Batman Returns, Danny DeVito penguin outfit, and did his whole like makeup, face mask with the elongated penguin nose and everything. He looked fucking amazing, spot on, is beautiful, and he had the frame to do it as well. And that, if I remember right, was when Gangnam Style was exploding everywhere. And I have video that pops up in my Facebook feed of him dancing around as the penguin, Oswald Cobblepot, and he does like he goes on for like 2 minutes. It's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Nice. Well, I do have one bit of breaking news that literally just came out. Not that it's going to matter to any of you, because you don't give a shit about anything Blizzard or World of Warcraft.
I am so excited, Todd.
But for the one person that listens to this that I know personally will be excited for this news, the World of Warcraft expansion has just leaked. It's going to be World of Warcraft Dragonflight. So
aren't you
can you fly? You better be able to fly at least one dragon in that then with that title.
I'm pretty sure you will be able to. And yes, I'm still boycotting Blizzard until Bobby Kotick is gone.
Cool.
Didn't he finally?
No. So he is expected to be gone when the Microsoft merger is complete.
Okay.
But he is not gone yet. In fact, there is actually a recent lawsuit against him, a huge one, like a class action lawsuit, saying he more than just was aware of certain things happening, he actively participated in certain things. So, yeah. So, yeah, I'm still boycotting Blizzard, but
there you go.
Oh man. On a similar note, Meg watched the documentary about Evan Rachel Wood.
Oh, dude, that fucked me up.
And Marilyn Manson coming out speaking against Marilyn Manson and all his abuse and whatnot. And It's Meg finally had to throw out the shirt that she was hanging on to, and
I know.
she's just like can't do it anymore.
It got
It
to
was
a point.
very
so,
damning.
So when when all this news came out about it, it was sad. But at the same time, I had literally just bought one of his albums on vinyl, so I was like, man, I literally just got this in, and like a week later all this news came out about him. And at the same time I'm kind of like, his music still was like a part of my life, and I want to separate art from artist type of mentality. Same thing with J.K. Rowling situation. But then I watched a documentary and I saw like how fucking crazy Marilyn Manson really is, and all of the heinous shit that he does to women. I'm just like, I can't, like one of his songs came up on Pandora and I had to skip it. And it's like, I never want to listen to his shit ever again. And I threw my shirt out. So I was like, man, this sucks. But at least he's getting like some punishment. I don't think any of the lawsuits have gone through. But like his record label dropped him, his management dropped him. Like he's not touring right now. Like he's hurting a little bit, but he's hurting.
I mean, he's a multimillionaire. He'll be fine, unfortunately.
Exactly. But anyway.
And it's all hearsay, so there's nothing that can be proven. So any lawsuits that come out are not going to punish him. Like, that's the thing that sucks about this type of thing. It's always all hearsay. There's no hard evidence of anything.
Yeah, it's hard to prove without any like record. Well, there was some recordings of like abusive, like
there are a lot of video,
abuse
a lot of video recordings of the verbal abuse and the like tantrums that he would throw at tours and stuff, and him just saying like really crappy shit about people. It's like, dude, you don't fucking joke like that.
Unfortunately, I don't think anything like criminally
No.
It just shows what an asshole he was. But
well, the other problem specifically with Evan Rachel Wood is the fact that it's beyond
statute of limitations.
So that's what they're fighting for, is to expand the statute of limitations.
Was she underage at the time that he started grooming her?
I think they met when she was like just turned 18, and they went public on dating when she was 19. So I mean, technically she was legal, but at 18, like you're
still a kid.
Yeah, you're dating a 38-year-old man.
Jesus Christ.
Like that's pretty nasty.
That's
and anybody at 18 doesn't have a fully developed like sense of emotions and life and a brain, and it's just like perfect age to like groom a person.
I'm gonna be 38 this year, and I cannot imagine dating. No, that's like a little like.
Yeah.
That's a baby.
That's a child. That's oh man.
That's terrifying.
That's a high schooler, basically. Like really, that's a high schooler.
Yeah.
Here. Wow.
So.
When you're like a high schooler and you feel like, oh, I'm like one of the grown-up kids now, whatever, and then like a few years go by and you're like, okay, maybe I was still a little small, and now
you see high schoolers,
like,
you're like,
oh,
babies.
you are children.
You are just a little thing.
Yeah. Anyway, what a great light note to end this podcast on.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
So if you want to hate
Fuck
life,
Marilyn
watch
Manson.
that documentary.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good idea. Saving the part of the shirt though, because it was.
It said "Sweet Dreams Are Made of These" on the backside because he did that remake.
Yeah.
So I did save that part of the shirt because technically it's an Eurythmics song.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was like, well, I'll save that bit, but I threw the rest of it out.
You can make that a patch on your jacket.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh, well, Will Smith doesn't seem like the monster of the week anymore, does he?
I mean, nice.
He is no Marilyn Manson. He is no Chris Brown.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining Get It Out Topic podcast. This is Tony.
This is Todd.
I was Andrew.
And Meg.
Hey.
Yeah.
Don't go slapping comedians. Good night, everybody.